Adventures in Stereo Recording. This is 29th January 2025. It's your boy MJib, and I am working on Solace. And what you're hearing right now is the most excellent bass work from Mr. Noah. Shout out to Skip, who's out there in the audience, hopefully telling me that she can hear what I'm doing. Alright. I had a great patter all going before, but I gotta turn myself up a little. Okay, I can do that. It's been 6 months since I did this. I think I might just get closer to the microphone. All right, let's see where we. Okay, so let's have a look at what we got today. Really, where I'm up to is I am adding the I'm at the end of the mixing, and I realised I needed some extra backing vocals. By the way, shout out! This is Ross Fear's Cup. There we go. I did this bit before. I'm doing it again. All right, so this one was from the Greenhouse. I think we recorded this at Cogger's Place in 2021. I could never get a handle on it. The transitions between the bridge and the chorus were always a little bit too fruity for me. Noel, when he put in his bass note, suddenly made sense of it all. I think he is a genius. Let's see if I can pull it out. That's nice. Now, the importance of that particular note here, where is it? Boom. He makes the chord, and the vocals and the guitar have always been in there, but it just bugged me. Anyway, he put that in, and suddenly there's this really stable platform. And I really like it. Anyway, so one of the reasons I decided to try and do this today was because I got such an amazing vocal backing from Sarah Siki in Uganda. You probably do just say it Uganda. But anyway, and this one's been such a pain in the bum. Anyway, we are close to the completion of this album because I've got a deadline for it, and this is almost sort of the finishing touch. So for roughly the next hour, I'm looking at my little dial here, you'll join me in Adventures in Stereo Recording. So let's give you an idea of what this song is made up of. Okay, so I got a little confused on my way to doing the work the other day, and I came up with an intro. But it wasn't really an intro for this, but I decided to put it there. So anyway, I won't play all of it because it takes a while, but... As Mr. Wizard would say, I do like the reverb, but so does Daniel Lanois, so meh. All right, now let's have a look. So this one is actually fairly straightforward. This hum is simply low frequency stuff that I've put in there because okay, apparently we are lagging out. Well, not much we can do about that. Okay, so let's just have a look at the building blocks of the song. We've got our bass section. So trying to marry these up has been fun. And all right, so there's our rhythm section. The galloper and all these other bits and pieces are just me doing fiddly stuff in the middle section of the song. One of the things that has occurred while doing the mixing ourselves, etc., is doing things we wouldn't have done in the studio. All right, so I don't need any of that. Now, let's get rid of. So these are the vocals that I got in today, and they're just so good, I wanted to share them. Oh, that is nice.
Solace.
Okay. So that's the chorus, but Sarah very kindly added the oohs and the ahs, and I think the first ooh is in the wrong spot, but these are gold. Wow, that is good. So let's have a look at the longer chorus here in the outro. Oh God, that's gorgeous.
Solace. Solace. Solace.
Okay, so I think what we'll do to start with, first basics, we'll just give these a clean up. So really what I've got to do today is I had the song kind of mixed, and then I got clever, and now I've got to remix it. So let's group this stuff, and let's go down, and let's just take out these little sort of glottals. Yeah. Now I could use the auto cut function on this, but I won't. Because these vocals are stacked. And I'll leave that between them because there's probably a sibilant S during them. No, there's an in-breath. Nice. Oh, that is such a nice sound. Gosh, that is a nice sound. All right, let's do this again. And then we'll do it on the lower group. Okay, there is a slight difference in how long she's holding the notes. Let's check if we haven't cut them off here. No, we're cool. Just got to be aware of that when we go to the next bit. Sarah, you did a top job, love. All right. There we go. And I'm inclined to leave the S's here. Okay, so let's go clean the lower ones out, which are these guys here. Firstly, we'll group those. Okay, let's go down and slice them up. Okay. Okay, it can't be too, if I want to get too fiddly, that's fine, but let's have a listen. These will be the final things, and I'll have the S in there.
Solace.
Okay, so there's a small in-breath there, but I mean, I don't want to... What is it? Mr. Wizard says Pro Tools the life out of it. So let's leave the in-breath in. And let's just take it to the end. See what we get there. We'll just trim that one down a bit. Oh, that is so nice. See, the thing is that as it happens during these processes, whatever you thought you were going to do becomes secondary to what you do with what you get while you're trying to. And sometimes, if you're willing to pay attention, you may actually realise that what you get is better than what you intended to get. Opportunistic producing. Oh, that's better than I thought I was going to do. Let's do that. All right, so we're just getting rid of the extraneous noises here. Got to ungroup these little suckers so I can trim the other ones to where the... All right, now, so what we're trying to do today is, because before Sarah gave me this fabulous alternative, I had used vocals that I had done, and of course, because we've been kind of frugal with what we've been doing, I did them on Audacity back in the cooler in the other place I was recording. But they were kind of good, and we thought, oh, what the hell, we'll use them. The only thing is that they're kind of already mixed, etc. So if we actually just have a listen to these characters here, and then we'll start talking about what kind of choices we're making today and what we're doing. So for right now, let's get rid of Sarah's stuff. Now let's just listen to what I did on Audacity. Yeah, big O, good O. Also sounds like there's a little bit of fuzz on the beginning of those. Now, of course, now compare my, I'll give it a go version to Sarah's. I'll just turn mine off, appropriately off.
Solace.
Yeah, see. So this is the thing. The other ones I had sounded all right until I heard hers. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So it's a bit lo-fi. It's a bit pitchy. So what do we do? All right, well, I guess the first thing we need to do now, so our objective today is, what do we do with this chorus, which is so gorgeous, and also putting in these sort of articulations, I guess you would call them. That really reminds me of Soul to Soul. Now, there's a reference for you. Hi out there in streaming land, if you're just joining us. Okay. We are mixing vocals into Solace today. From down here in the underground mixing chamber at Self-Propelled Artists. All right, so I guess let's see what happens when I double them up, when I put them all together. See, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's not better to just replace what I did. where's the bit that, oh, okay, so these parts here, so this is the, you can see where I've been doing work on the volume levels. I've been trying to reinforce stuff. All right, so I've got a lot of these muted channels because I have been fiddling with it.
Solace.
That's all right.
Solace.
Except now I'm out of time with her. So why don't I take a punt that she's got better time than I do. Not an unreasonable position, frankly. Just ask my drummer. Okay. Well, let's try moving me in line with her and see what we get.
Solace.
Nice.
Solace.
Okay.
Solace.
So either I'm ahead, but I'll tell you what, no matter what, if I line me up with her and it turns out we are out of sync with the main vocals, then it'll be easier to actually... I've clipped a little bit off there. Alright, hang on. Might not be a bad thing though, because there'll be gooey at the beginning of the mouth movement. That's the technical term for it, by the way, the gooey at the beginning of the mouth movement. Let's recheck where we're at.
Solace.
Why do I feel like I'm late there as... No, I'm ahead. So here is where she's starting. I'd like to assume that Sarah is actually more on the money than I am. Okay, so let's just line my takes up with hers. Okay, we are still behind. There's the beginning of her take. No, you stay there. Okay, you guys. Close enough. And while we're here, we'll just practice a little bit of cleaning up. Alright. That seems to be an orphan moment. What is that here? Let's get rid of those. Okay, so.
Solace. Solace. Solace.
Okay, this last one's out, and I think the glottal noises are too much. So let's have a look at, so these ones are out. So let's just put in a marker there so I can find my way. Blumph and blumph. Move that to that. And these glottal noises are too much because there's this many tracks. So what we'll do is we will group those, and what we will do is we'll cut just ahead of the in-breath because we don't want to lose the sibilance of the S on the end of the last phrase. So we'll take it back one of these little blocky things there, and we will rinse and repeat here. And I think that will get rid of the glottal noise, the glottal stopping, the mouth gooey noise. Okay. All right, and last chance there. Okay, now let me have a look. And that fixes the end, but we've got the same thing here at the beginning, which means that these ones will be out of sync. Ooh, thunder outside. Okay, here we go. a lot bloody out of sync. Oh, man. Either I'm out or she's out, or when I brought this in, I haven't brought this in the right way. Anyway, there's going to be an interesting moment where I fix this. Is that now? Oh, okay. All right, well, let's try the one that I've done. Okay, there is a main vocal here. Main vocal. There we go, this one. I did not have much luck with this vocal. I went into Ben's place to record, and there's a thing that I've been told about that if you're a singer, you have a tendency to sing sharper if you hear too much of your own vocal versus the song. And I think I did that. I was so pitchy. It sucked. I sucked. I hate sucking. Okay, here we go. Let's go down and check this vocal. So I wound up redoing the vocal a few times. I can't say I'm still happy with it, but you know what? Sometimes you just finish your job. Oh, look. More cleanup. Who's doing the editing here? Oh, me. Oh, well, here we go. What do we get? All right, so now this will be all three of us. And we'll do the end one first. You bring solace. You bring solace. You see? The thing is, there's nothing... If I decide I'm not happy with a vocal take, there's nothing to stop me from trying one of the other ones I've got, or... And the thing is that if her tuning is so right and mine winds up being so wrong, I'm just going to have to fix this. But we'll see what we get to start with. Okay. All right. So that's now cleaned up the vocal stuff. You can see why I don't share all of this stuff. I mean, I guess if I was going to pre-do it, I'd do it in fast forward because some of it is really mundane. All right, now let's have a listen. You see, there's something wrong there. What am I missing? Okay. You bring solace. You bring You bring solace. You bring solace. You bring solace. So it sounds to me like I'm pitchy on the first two and I'm all right on the third. Da 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 da. So if I've got, so if the original vocals that I've used while I was writing this, I've kept using because obviously I'm not, don't have hundreds of harmony singers in the drawer, and the electronic stuff doesn't necessarily. Anyway, so if I am pitching against funky pitch, I'm going to get funky pitch. Nobody's fault but mine. So let's have a listen to this one. You bring solace. So that's perfect. Da 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 da. Now let's have a listen to this one. You bring solace. No. You bring solace. No, that's just not good, bro. You bring solace. Near the note. You bring solace. Okay, so what we are going to do is we're going to do what a producer does, and we're going to take the good part out and put it where the other ones are. You bring solace. Yeah, that's not too bad. You bring solace. Okay, let's just try this one for a start. You bring solace. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to group these. We're going to go El Sliso. Then we're going to go Control C, and we're going to go and we're going to piff this. All right, what's the bet? Okay, let's see what we get. You bring solace. Okay, perfect. Now, if I had easy access to the studio, I'd just go back and do this again. But I'm just not going to. And to borrow from Ben Fold, some producer with computers repairs my work. There we go. So that ought to get us into... You bring solace. Yeah, I'm all right with that. You bring solace. You bring solace. You bring solace. Some gooiness at the end of my line there. In breath. You bring solace. That one's slightly out, but the thing is that sometimes I think it's actually human to be just a little bit, you know. Okay, so that one I'll forgive. All right, so I guess now what we do is we go to the earlier versions of that and see what we get. Okay. No, that's all her. So the only ones I've got to worry about are the front here. So let's see what we've got. Is all I know is you give me what I need. Oh, that's so good. You bring solace. Okay, so let's have. So firstly, let's do two things. One of them is I've got too much breath on me in there. Is all I know is you give me what I need. Nice. You bring solace. It's not so bad, but let's have a listen. When I arrived, you... So the first thing we wanted to do, let's just say goodbye to the main vocals to start with. Okay. And let's go down to just seeing if I can put all these backing vocals in. She's just so good. Sarah's sound here is so fabulous. And I would be a silly man to not make them the key aspect of this. So I am out there again. So what we're going to do is we're just going to... Okay, they're all separated already anyway. Okay, here's our... There's our point for Sarah. Make that a little easier to find with a marker. Okay. Let's go and check it again. I suck. How far off am I? Okay. All right. Oh. Well, maybe it was done during the editing. I'd like to think that that's the case. Okay, I just want these two things. Okay. Sometimes if I hit the wrong button, it can be problematic. No, I don't want to split. I can use the automatic splitting function, but I can't seem to dial it in yet quite as well as I'd like. Keep selecting more than the tracks I want. Okay, S. There is my entry point. Okay, that ought to give me...
Solace.
Something's still out of whack there.
Solace.
No.
Solace. Solace.
No, something out of whack on that. Okay, if this is still muted, I'm not going to use it, so I'm going to delete it. It's driving me nuts here. All right, why am I not syncing up with her? Let's have a look. Okay, because that one starts a little behind. So she's done a couple of parts there. So let's bring her parts. Let's bring the soprano forward. Okay. All right, so there's a little variability. That's all right. This is human. While I was trying to find someone to do some singing on this, I went to one of the websites and literally there were people who were just masquerading as people and then reselling AI stuff that you could go buy yourself. It was actually hard for me to find humans. Okay, here we go. Something's out of whack there. Look at these ones. Okay, ungroup. A certain amount of variability is okay. All right. So let's just see what we've got now. Where are my harmonies? There are my harmonies. So.
Solace.
I'm too long. I'm too long because she's ending sooner. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a little fade out on my stuff. All right, here we go.
Solace.
A little bit more, a little bit faster, I think. And I also think I'm out of position just a tad. Alright, I'm going to do some little fiddles now. Okay. You see, part of this is also the outcome of having to mix the way that we have, or work the way that we have since COVID, where you're not getting together with everybody to sort of do this anymore. A little bit further. Yeah, close enough. And there's also a little wonky somewhere up in her stuff. Yeah, okay, so you can see here when you're finishing the S you can really sort of say as an E double S. It's like S. So there's like an S. So it's a little bit out of time. And again, that's perfectly reasonable because I'm sitting here going fiddle, fiddle, fiddle. But by the time you put all this together, some of these tiny little things you won't hear and some of them actually you want to hear. Oh, looks like I got a bit purgy there. All right, see how we go on this next one. Okay, I think you are a little... Let's have a look at you two. I think you guys are a little early. I think you're a little early. Let's try that. Okay, that's close enough for this point in time because this won't be my final mix exactly. First thing I've got to do now that I have this new element in is I have to make the new element, got to put it in, clean it up, do the editing, and I also have to make sense of it sonically and then how it fits in the other stuff. Then after that, I've got to go and see how it fits in with the other stuff. All right, so according to calculations, I ought now to have got all of the chorus vocals except for the entry. Because I like those vocals so much, I actually put something at the beginning, which is marked here. Intro. So where's the intro? There. Oh, my stars. All right, so I've got to go find her initial vocals, which will be these ones. Copy them. And bring them over here. I need to stay on the correct track too, so it's this track. Bingo. Okay, now let's line these suckers up with the intro. Line these up with the intro. Because it's not going to be the same. Different timing here. Do 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 do. Down we go. Okay. So here's my entry point. Right. And so we'll group these. Okay. Group, and now we'll split them. And then we'll match them up with the ones down the bottom here. See, the timing's different. And I've cut the nose off. But that's all right, I can bring that out. Let's just zoom in, see what we've got. Okay, looks like that one's a little bit out. So it could just be me. Looks like let's ungroup them because it looks like I've pulled them forward. Okay, let's go a lot. Control Z helps here. Okay, that looks like that's out of. All right. Double check these ones. Not quite as exciting as you thought making an album, is it, folks? But if you happen to love detail work, why don't you consider your own adventures in stereo mixing? Because Reaper, for example, the product that I'm using here, they will let you use for free until you decide to pay for it. You're not sort of meant to be too mean about it, but it is, I think, one of the most remarkable periods of time if you like to make stuff, because you can use all these cool tools. And why is that also out of funkiness? All right. So that's the stack there. Now see. Let's bring those to there. Okay, let's just go have a look. That's all over the place. All right, let's test it.
Solace.
So what's happening there? So I've lined that up way ahead somehow. Okay, let's try that again.
Solace.
Not liking that. Okay, not liking that. Okay. Yep, let's pull that back a bit.
Solace. Solace.
Okay. There's some messies here. So let's just trim those down a little bit. Little out of time breath noises. Probably because I've been moving around the stack. One of the things about human voice is when you start adding them up, it forgives all sorts of little errors. All right.
Solace. Solace.
You know what? I don't need to fix these vocals. I can piff them. If she's going to become the principal, then all I'm doing in the other parts is reinforcing what she's doing. So she becomes the start. Bye. Okay, problem solved. Practical producing. Okay. If it's making it worse, get rid of it. All right. So now theoretically, I have now... All right. You can see I've had a few different attempts at the vocals here because these are all the different takes that I just couldn't get a handle on this thing. Okay. All right. I think we are now... How far are we? 42 minutes it's taken me to get to a point where I can start to listen to the new harmonies against the rest of the track. So now listening to the same track over and over 800 times is something you got to love. And also, as I'm getting so close now, I'm going to actually start to clean out the tracks I know I'm no longer using because I'm... Now, what I will also do, though, is I will save project as today's date. (290125). Version control will help you when you realise your brilliant idea was not as brilliant as you thought your brilliant idea was.